think from my perspective, particularly with the Help to Buy schemes that are available, the government are very keen to help first-time buyers onto the property ladder, hence why we have the stamp duty issues as much as anything else. I think it's a good as time as any to buy. Obviously, I can't commit or comment on the future any more than anyone else, but in terms of the cost of a mortgage as opposed to renting, the cost of renting, a lot of people actually invariably save money by buying because of the interest rates where they are. And obviously Paul can discuss lots of different schemes that are available mortgage-wise which can protect them in the short term as well. So it's a good as time as any.
Do you agree with that, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, your question was what advice would I give to first-time buyers? I would say we deal with a lot of first-time buyers, and they all come to us pretty much with the same mindset. Most first-time buyers aren't really aware of what there is available to borrow and what the rates are, and that's buy-to-lets and normal residential first-time buyers. The mortgage rates are very, very favourable at the moment for everyone, including first-time buyers, and they have been for a long time. But my general advice to first-time buyers is, if you're going to get a residential mortgage, probably get the maximum deposit you possibly can, because that will, in most cases, end up with you getting a slightly better mortgage rate. Go to a proper mortgage advisor, and remember, the mortgage advisor works for you. It's their job to give you the very best advice. So don't be afraid to ask any questions you think you need to ask, because at the end of the day, it's your money, you know? It's not like buying a car, it's not. This is a huge long-term commitment. It's a long-term commitment, you know? You will never ever spend more money on anything than this house. So you need to find out everything you can. Good advisors will give you good advice, but actually for first-time buyers, it generally isn't as expensive as you probably think it is. But there is a lack of knowledge of what you can and what you can't do. And then the next bit of advice I would give, it's one thing getting the mortgage, it's another thing keeping the house. So think about what would happen if something happened to you, like you became unemployed, became ill, how would you pay the bills? Because you worked so hard for that property, you wouldn't want it taken away from you because of something outside of your control. And that's what advisors do. They are there to work for you. And that would be my advice.
Thank you.
Just an extra point there, and just obviously I was chatting to somebody before the evening started. So obviously if you are going from maybe renting in a shared house to buying your own property, just a reminder that if you do buy a property and have a spare bedroom, there's the rent room relief, which means that you can rent that second room to a friend or a colleague, and the income is tax-free. So it's a way of, buying that bigger house, maybe having the extra room or two, and you can actually receive rent on that. You don't need to disclose it to the revenue, as long as it's not excessive. But it's a way of maybe just helping towards, the running cost of the property. That's where you can have the income without having to pay tax.
And that applies to the Airbnb market and the Monday to Friday.com market and all those different markets.
Airbnb is slightly different. The main crux of the rent room relief is that it is your home and you are living there. So if you buy a property and you live there and you've got a friend who also lives there and then pays you rent monthly, that's very different. If you're going to run it as a possible classic Airbnb, whereas actually, for 3 months you go travelling and you rent it, that's a very different area. But on a day-to-day, having somebody else living in the property with you who pays you rent, that is a way of maybe enabling you to buy that property. It's not taxable income. The rates have just gone up. So it's a way of maybe, taking that step from maybe the shared accommodation to having your own place, but having, that extra income coming in to help with the mortgage.
That's great advice. Thank you very much indeed.